Welcome to my first video. I'm going to be playing 9 holes for this winter practice. My first hole here is a easy 350 yard hole, straightforward, very open, very easy. Have about 125 yards here for my approach. Was just trying it to hit it nice and low, get it back there on the back right side of the green, but pulled it a little bit, was off the green in the front. What I'm working on this winter is just sequencing of my hands and my body. What I'm trying to do is just making sure that while I transition to my left feet, I get my hands down. I think what I did wrong when I was learning golf in 2020, I just wailed at the ball. You go to the range and you just hit the ball. I think if you're naturally athletic, you understand how to kind of get the club through by using your hips and your body, and you kind of turn. And then as I was learning and getting better and watching YouTube golf, you hear about creating lag, holding your hands back or keeping your hands back or keeping your hands cocked. And you watch videos of pros and you see the real ofness of it. Tiger Woods feeling real, and you see, their hands is, all the way forward, and you try to imitate that by doing the same thing when it isn't like that. And I think a lot of people that get into single digit handicap or learn the golf swing really well are, people who've moved on to watching actual pros and good teachers like Padraig Harrington and Mike Malaska. Amateurs just are too slow with their hands, and I was guilty of that. I think athletic motion golf also had the same thing where amateurs' hands were just too slow. Pros' hands from top to mid thigh was way faster than amateurs, and that's something I was guilty of in my golf swing a couple years ago. And in the past year, I am been learning how to do that, how to get my hands down faster. And so this winter practice was just getting my hands down faster, making sure I'm not keeping them lag behind. When you do lag them behind and when you don't get your hands down fast, you get stuck. That's how you get stuck. And when you get stuck, your hands have to do more to catch up the club face to square it up. And the more your hands are working at the bottom of your golf swing, the more club face twirls. And that just means the more timing that you need to have. And you need to have perfect timing. I truly believe that my faults early when I was trying to learn in 2020 to the next couple of years was that I would get stuck because I would fire my hips and my body so quick, and being inflexible already, that means just a short time for my hands to get there. And since my hands does go a little bit longer, it takes there's just so much more time that my hands can't catch up in my golf swing. And after watching videos like Mike Malaska, Padraig Harrington, kind of learning the throw versus twist release in a golf swing, among other great teachers out there that actually know what they're talking about, I it's what I switched up in the past year, and it's what I've been working on. Something that I kind of want to be reiterating to myself as I watch these videos about the correct sequencing of my body and my hands. Um, I think in the most part, like, the steering wheel of my golf swing are my hands, and it's just been for the past couple of years is all gas, no steering. Was what I was doing. I was all gas and then steer right at the end. If you're going to overcorrect abruptly, it's just going to create inconsistency in the impact of the ball. Uh, the more quickly you change direction, the more instability that you create with the impact of your club face to the ball. So as I understand how to getting my hands into position better, then I can be able to focus on then rotating my body uh, so that my club face goes into the golf ball without any more club face hand manipulation that I need to do. And if I can get my hands in position earlier, I can just turn my body and turn that club face into the ball with more of a stable club face. Less turn, more, I already have a great in out path. It's just sometimes because my hands are so late, or I do something, I get a little bit more handsy. That in and out club path, and I'm closing down my face. I just create this closed face with an in and out face, and I'm hitting huge draws, huge hooks. That makes me a little bit more inaccurate, especially as I get longer in my clubs with the driver and my 4-irons. Something I've also noticed in the past couple of weeks that I've been practicing this, getting my hands in position, is some days I'll go and I get this, I drop my hands in really well, and I get my hands in front of me, and the smash factor when I'm playing in the simulator is high. So I'm lagging my club really well. I'm getting my uh, hands down really well, but that day I'm just using all hands. And for whatever reason, I stopped thinking about turning my body. And that's sometimes gets me in the same situation as almost a stuck position. Because when I do want to kind of hit it harder, what it does is just my hand works even more at the bottom, and it turns that club face closed, and it still creates this hook or draw at the bottom. And it's the same thing if my hands are too late. If I'm firing my body really well today and I don't even think about my hands, then I'm stuck, and then I'm twisting and hitting that golf ball and hitting a hook or hitting it, a giant push right if it's not closed down enough. So, in that part, proper sequencing of your golf swing is so impactful for a golf swing. You can definitely be good at playing golf if you're not sequencing right. If you go and practice that day and you time your swing, you hit 50 golf balls before you go play, and you just time it right. You sometimes, I think a lot of people probably have the same situation where maybe you're not hitting it well that week, and then somehow you found something in the range that was like, oh my god, this is what I did. I watched some YouTube videos and this caused me to do this. Most of the time it's just timing. You just timing your swing well enough that your club face comes into impact square and you're hitting it well. If it's not square, then you are pulling it just enough for that slice to come back into the middle, or vice versa. And I think that's something I was very guilty of in the past. In 2023, when I was learning to change my swing a little bit, was I had aha moments where it was, oh my god, and I figured it out. 2 weeks later, maybe I lift weights, I'm sore, I'm not turning my body really well, and I'm a little tight. Maybe my golf swing isn't the same as it was yesterday, and it goes to shit. and I didn't understand why. I'm like, I just learned this from a YouTube golfer who told me to go do this. It was working for me. And what I've learned is that it was just timing. I was, whatever I did, hidden tips or tricks that I did worked because I went to the range, I practiced it, and I timed it. It was just pure luck that I hit it well the past 2 weeks. And I went to my league and I shot, a 38, 37, and I feel so good about myself. And then 2, 3 weeks later, I shot like a 45, 9 over. One hole where it was a blow up and a couple holes where it was bogey. Can't even get on the green in regulation. It was just because of timing of my hands got out of sync because I stopped doing something. I stopped thinking about doing something. So the proper sequencing and understanding of your golf swing really helps you take timing out of it, making you have to react less with your hand-eye coordination and more less of, if you can properly sequence your transition into your left foot, getting your hands down into position, and then turning, makes for less time on the range and going out. And you see sometimes, I think a lot of people who've played with really great scratch golfers or plus handicap golfers, and they're like, hey man, you went to the range, and they're like, nope, I'm just gonna hit this ball, and they smoke it down the middle with their drive, and for the next 18 holes they shoot 1 or 2 over or 1 or 2 under without any practice for the day. And that's because they understand the sequencing of their body and how they play. Maybe they don't hit it as perfect as they would like, because yes, there's still timing to it and they're still chipping and putting, but they understand the proper sequencing of their body and what they need to do to hit well. And that's something I'm learning this winter on how to do that, how to get my hands in position and how I turn into that shot. I can't just turn my body and leave my hands behind me, but I also can't just use just my hands as well. And that's what this winter practice is going to be like, and probably one of the things I feel like I'm getting very close to scratch and understanding. I'm hitting during this winter more fairways and more greens in regulation. There's just days where I do forget one or the other. I forget to turn my body, or I am just too handsy, or I'm turning my body too much, and that's something I'm trying to fix. But that is one of the things I've been working on this winter. The other thing I've been working on, or I've changed in my golf game, is my golf grip. I have watched John Daly talk about getting your grip resized and going and getting a golf fitting for that. I am a true believer in that. I think my next video will go more in depth in my changes with my golf grip, what I changed to, and how it's helped me in my golf swing, especially in my driving. I feel like it's a night and day difference in how my driver has handled that switch, and I can't wait to get into that with my next golf video. Enjoy the rest of the video. Thank you for watching.